Hey, this is Sri Vishwanath here, and welcome to episode number 27 of the Ask Sri Vishwanath Vedanta Show. And today's question comes from Cynthia, and she asks, I have been trying to clear my childhood wounds. Equates to unworthiness, shame, feeling of not being supported, clearing implants, and miscellaneous entities. So kindly help. The answer to that is to clearing all wounds is bliss. So that's the secret. Bliss is the most beautiful thing ever discovered in a human being. So your body is a musical instrument, is not like a musical instrument. It is a musical instrument. And you can have musical notes come out of it, which is the words, sound. That's why sound is the beginning of creation. Ramakrishna Sharanam, Ramakrishna Sharanam, Ramakrishna Sharanam, Sharanye, Sharanagatoham, 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 Sharanye, Ramakrishna Sharanam, Ramakrishna Sharanam, Ramakrishna Sharanam, Sharanye. Now these words, your body is a musical instrument. And what comes out of it is the notes of bliss. So these words that come out, right? When you speak words, sound, before word is a sound. So sound becomes words, and words become image or the event. And now if you don't do anything, then karma takes over, because when you're making the word, when you're speaking a word, or when you're thinking, already the sound has been produced. And so it's like, visualize a circle. Okay, visualize a page. The page is the Atman, and there's a circle. You draw a circle. Now you, in the waking, are traveling the circumference of the circle. And that's why the sound becomes word becomes image, and things, whatever has to happen, happens. That's why you see only image, appearances, like see childhood wounds, this and all that stuff. Like you see appearances, matter. This is matter. But we know, those who know physics, and if you learn metaphysics, the quantum physics and all these big things, but I'll tell you a simple thing. Matter is appearance. But this matter, right, which we get fooled with, all matter is energy. And all energy is bliss. So the equilibrium state is bliss. So when you go to deep sleep, it becomes all the intellect disappears. So all your childhood wounds, all the wounds, not only of this, but many lifetime disappear. Again, in the morning, it becomes sound, word, and image. Because you are moving in the circumference. Your body, unlike other musical instruments which get broken or which may not function, here's the thing. Even if you produce a wrong note, right? Musical note. No, I have no idea of music and anything. I'm just telling you something very basic. Even if you produce a wrong musical note, which is what? Sattvic, Rajas, and Tamas. Their Sattvic is divine, Rajas is outgoing, Tamas is like you become matter. So Sattvic is the divine sound. Rajas is the word which moves. Tamas is the appearance. So even if you screw up, here's the thing. In the end, all the matter goes back to energy. All energy goes back to sound. Sound goes back to bliss. Shankaracharya gives a beautiful example. He says, you see, fire always goes to the top, right? You always see fire. Fire, you never see fire coming down. Why? Because it is going back to its source, the sun. Water. He gives an example. He says, water, if you take it to the 110th floor of the building, of like a skyscraper or whatever, and you open the tap, the water comes down. See, because where is it going? Going back to the source, the ocean. If a leaf falls from the tree, it goes back to the earth, because the earth is the source. Everything goes back to its source. Earth, air, fire, space, water. So the words and images, everything is a word and image. It goes back to its source, which is bliss. Prakriti. Prakriti is the bliss aspect of Brahman Atman. So when you sing, that's why worship. See, when you pray to God, there is no difference between your words, because your words are originating from the center. So it's you just have to do it for 4 seconds or 4 minutes or whatever small duration. Your words, no matter how much you screw up, you will see when you go to deep sleep, all of them go back to the equilibrium state called bliss. So you have the power in the waking state to have the matter go back, which is appearance, go back to words, which is energy, go back to sound, go back to bliss. How? By using the power of Shuddha Chaitanya, the power of God, Chit, the power of the Atman. So you can have the words and you can have matter go back to energy, energy go back to bliss. Through a simple song. There was a song which Ramakrishna taught Vivekananda. Vivekananda, it's a very beautiful story which I'll share later. So here's how the story goes. Okay, so the story was Vivekananda was going through a very hard time in his life, and he was in search for a job. He was not getting a job. His family was deep in trouble. And so he went to Ramakrishna and told, you have direct connection with Goddess Kali. Why don't you pray to her and get me out of the problem? So Ramakrishna said, I don't do all that. I'm not in that business. You go and pray. The temple is there. You go and pray. She will accept your worship. So Vivekananda goes. And after a few minutes, he comes back. And Ramakrishna said, did you ask Goddess Kali what you want? And Vivekananda said, I forgot. Because when he went inside, he asked only for discrimination and devotion, vairagya and that was how Vivekananda was. Even though on appearance, he wanted all this thing in the world, the job and his family getting into trouble, inside, he was always melting into discrimination. So Ramakrishna scolded him and said, you can't even remember such a simple thing to ask for helping in your finance? Go back again to the temple. And he went again. And he went again, and after 10 minutes, he again came back, and Ramakrishna said, did you ask? He said, I forgot. Again, he asked only for discrimination and renunciation, because that was what he was made up of, for whatever reason. And Ramakrishna scolded him and said, what a shame, you can't even ask God this simple thing, go back again. And he went again the third time, and this time, again he forgot. And while coming back, he realized, well, wait a minute, I'm very intelligent. Why am I forgetting? Ramakrishna is doing some drama trick. So he said, Ramakrishna, well, you're doing something. I mean, I'm forgetting. You can do a lot of things. Kindly help my family, make sure that they do, my mother and brothers don't get into any financial trouble. And he kept on pressing Ramakrishna, and they said, okay, I'll make sure they have the basic needs. And that night, Ramakrishna taught him this song, Ma Tvam Hi Tara, which is like, Goddess Kali, you are everywhere. And Vivekananda sang that the whole night. Whole night. Ma Tvam Hi Tara, Ma Tvam Hi Tara, Ma Tvam Hi Tara, Ho Ma. तुम्ही त्रिगुणधार परात् पर मा तुम्ही तारा मा तुम्ही तारा मा तुम्ही तारा हो मा. And there are more paragraphs. It's so beautiful And what it does is you are everywhere and you become the sattvic, rajas, and tamas. And no matter what notes, everywhere you are there. And you can take me to bliss because you are bliss. So bliss appears as sound, sound appears as word, word appears as image, matter. So bliss appears as energy, sound as energy moving, that appears as matter. And in the deep sleep, it goes back to bliss. So your body is the musical instrument, and you have this beautiful bliss, and all the words that come out of it are the beautiful notes, and nothing has happened to it. It's never lost, it's not wounded, nothing has happened to it. You have never lost 1 ounce of bliss because it's the equilibrium state. So this whole thing is about appearance, and one gets fooled because of ignorance. So in the waking state, we have the path through worship, to love of God, to go back to bliss. So what happens in deep sleep, you can recreate in waking. And that is the greatest skill on planet Earth. All the great ones, Krishna, Ram, Adi Shankaracharya, Vivekananda, Ramakrishna, Ramana Maharshi, Jesus, all of them, right at the start, at age 5, Adi Shankaracharya, Ramakrishna could do that because they could recreate the deep sleep experience in the waking. And you and I can also do that. You can do that. So go to www.magicofgod.com to experience the fastest way to bliss and save 3 decades. Thank you and God bless.